teachers are the ones who go and tell the principal, correct, or the administration that this child possibly could benefit from a backpack of food for the weekend.
Yep.
So it's just basically, I mean, you can only do what you can do. There's not enough.
We can. We're doing what we can right now. But I know Brevard County is going to step up to the plate and help support us. And we'll be able to do more in the future. But for right now, we are really tapped out. But our plans for the 2017-18 school year is we're going to add at least 2, maybe 3 more schools. And we're also looking to bump up some of our numbers as far as kids that we're serving at particular schools that really need it.
And if anyone's interested, you can do your own little fundraiser. You don't have to have a huge venue or have big lunches or dinner serves. You can just, like Keith was saying earlier, where you work, at your office or your school, maybe perhaps, if you want to just collect food and donate it, as long as it's non-perishable and doesn't need a can opener, like a snap-off, right, lid.
Right. Yeah, all of our cans have the
juice boxes.
The open. Yep.
Raisins, pudding cups, raisins,
applesauce,
snack bars, perhaps. No,
we don't put snack bars in our packages, but we're actually moving next school year. We're looking to expand our menu items so that we offer kids a little more variety. Mm-hmm. So that's actually one thing we're looking at right now is how to do that.
I'm sure because they're a little bit more expensive too. Correct? Is that the reason why?
They are, and we're trying to be sensitive with salt content, with sugar content of what we're feeding these kids. Right. So you just got to find something that's fairly healthy. I was thinking, another idea, do like a blue jeans day at work where everybody pays $5 and they wear blue jeans to work on a day. And that could be a nice little fundraiser for the Children's Hunger Project.
Now, is there anything else that you guys need besides food and money?
Food, money, volunteers, and people talking about the problem here.
Spreading the word.
And spreading the word.
I was wondering, I'm sure that, I don't know if my church is doing anything about it, but I would like to, maybe bring it up to my priest and maybe talk about it and see what we can do. Because I know we collect food I go to Ascension and we collect food for the Ascension thrift social concerns where families can go that don't have money as long as they have a Social Security card and, and you don't have to be a parish member. You just have to prove that you are a person with with a name and a number. And they give them X amount of food depending upon how many children you have in your family. And that's where I volunteer as well.
Awesome.
And I love that because it's the people that come in, you're a little shocked to see.
Yeah.
What's here.
Yeah. Again, I think it's easy to live in Brevard County and not be exposed to this unless you go out. But once you are, it is shocking and unbelievable the extent of the problem that we have here in Brevard County.
Yeah.
And Ascension has been a supporter of ours in the past, but I am happy to come out to any church on a Sunday or a mosque or a synagogue and talk to the folks and if they're a supporter of ours, I would love to give them an update on where we are as an organization, how many we're serving. And if they're not a supporter, I'd love to talk to them about how they can become a supporter of ours.
I have a wonderful friendship with the Islamic Society on Babcock. Have you gone there and spoken with them?
No, I haven't. I
can introduce you to him. He's a wonderful, wonderful, kind gentleman.
Awesome.
We were I was doing a paper for school, and my husband and I had went, and right in the middle of this, it was Ramadan. It was a Muslim holiday, and we went in, and he stopped like everything. He was soaking wet from head to toe, sweating.
Oh my gosh.
Just stopped everything. We all took off our shoes, and he actually literally gave me a tour, and funds, and it was he's just amazing. So I would love to be able to maybe get you two to.
I would love that.
Again,
we have a history with religious organizations here, but there are many that aren't aware of us and aren't aware of the problem here in Brevard County. There are some churches that do fundraisers and mission trips to Guatemala, and there's a need down there for sure, but there's a need here in Brevard County.
Right. I'm all for that as well. I'm all about helping here first, other than outside.
Yeah.
There is a lot of help for outside as well. That's done through the government, but there's nobody helping us here in Brevard, and that's why we have to do what we have to do. And you have to push this. We have to do this.
I'm working on developing a cloning machine so I can put Sheriff Ivy through there and get more of him out there. But until that happens, I need everybody to support us.
Wonderful. I love him so dearly. And he's just such a kind-hearted man. He really is. And he does so much for the community.
It is amazing.
Like
we are so fortunate.
No matter who I speak to, wherever he is, wherever he graces himself, I mean, every day of the week, he's such a busy guy and just puts himself out there for everybody.
Yeah, he does.
He really does. And I know he's going to bring you quite a nice little, a nice following.
Yeah.
Because everywhere he goes, people follow him.
Yeah,
you know?
We truly appreciate his support. He has been a huge advocate for us and a huge supporter. So, just unbelievable.
Can you tell us any surprises or anything you might have here for your event? Or
Well, I wasn't going to divulge this, but since you're twisting my arm and forcing me to, one of the things we're doing, which is really unique this year, is we take the entire field of golfers, 144 golfers.
Wow.
We sold out last year. We'll sell out this year. 144 golfers. At the end of the day, we take their scores and put them in order, and then we divide the field into thirds.
Okay.
So each third gets a first, second, and a third place prize. So if you're a horrible golfer like me, you still have a chance to win first place because you could be at the top of that bottom tier. So a little bit unique. I think people will like it. Again, it'll encourage golfers that are horrible like me to come out and try their hand.
That seems like fun. Maybe then I would have a chance then.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If you could buy enough mulligans and you get into that.
Tell me what a mulligan is.
A mulligan
have no clue what that is.
It's basically a pass that you buy to get you through. Like if you take a hole and you've got like 8 strokes to get to the green, you can use those mulligans to buy your way to a better score.
Oh, look at that.
So.
I have a funny golf story.
All right.
I was working for another place and I was a manager there, and the boss who owns the venue where I worked was an avid golfer, like really a wonderful golfer. And he told me, because I would travel around, I love the golf cart. I love the drinking the cocktails and driving around,
There you go.
But he showed me one day, he says, no, this is how you have to start. It was with that big wooden golf club.
Yeah.
A driver?
Wood. Yeah.
Well, I was using that for the duration of the time.
That's awesome.
And everybody was looking at me and I didn't know. And I said, well, no, my boss, such and such, told me to use this. And everybody knew he was an avid golfer, like almost pro. And they were like, are you kidding me? And I went back to work on that Monday and I said, yeah, I told him that. You told me to use that. And it was just horrifying. I don't think I ever showed my face on a golf course again,
That's
ever in my
awesome.
life. I stuck to what I knew best, which was the golf cart.
Yep.
I love the driving
Golf cart
part
and drinking.
and the martini part.
There you go.
That was my specialty.
Yep. Stick to your strengths. Have you ever seen Happy Gilmore, the movie?
Oh, come on.
You should have
That's
just
my
taken.
favorite.
You should have taken a hockey stick out on the golf course. That would have. Nobody would have looked at you then.
The Yellow Jacket. Do you not love that movie?
It is such a great movie.
Oh,
yeah.
What a funny movie that is. And that's true. He was some golfer, though. He had some power behind it.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I love the scenes where like him and Bob Barker are like duking it out too, because what a good sport Bob
What
Barker
a
must
great
have been
guy.
to go through that. But yeah.
Very good scene. I love that
Hilarious.
whole movie. I know Adam Sandler's so like ridiculous, but I love him. I
Yeah.
love his ridiculous stupidity,
Yeah.
immature comic value.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, there's a need for that in our society today.
You
I think
better
you just
believe it.
sometimes
It's too
you just have
serious
to,
of a society.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to be stupid and laugh.
Tell us again so everybody knows, like a website and maybe a phone number or just a website if you have it, or a fan page.
Sure. So it's the children'shungerproject.org. Our office number is 321-610-1900. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Just go to Google and put in the
Yeah.
Children's Hunger Project.
Yep.
And up you will come.
Up we come.
Your beautiful face for radio.
Yes. Yes.
I hope that I encourage everybody really to get on board and get in there. If you can't do the big donation, it's absolutely fine. All you have to do is have a heart and want to give, even if it's a little shopping bag full of non-perishable foods, juice boxes, cans of pasta.
Yep.
I remember
Raisins,
pudding, raisins,
applesauce,
juice boxes. What else can they donate?
chocolate milk,
As long as
That's
it's
it.
non-perishable.
Non-perishable.
Chocolate
Yeah.
milk? Really?
They have shelf-stable chocolate milk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what else? That's it?
That's it.
And pastas?
Yep. So we serve
No vegetables in a can that have a pop-up top?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Okay. So these are you have done your studies and you know exactly what.
Yeah, and our package actually was developed by nutritionists at the Brevard School District, so it meets the daily requirements of what these kids are
Needing.
Yeah, to come to school.
After our golf tournament, what else do we have coming up?
I'll tell you two really exciting things in the fall. One is the Palm Bay Mayor Capote has chosen the Children's Hunger Project as the recipient of his gala that he does at the end of September, September 30th. That's huge for us. And then I have to mention Sheriff Ivey has selected us as one of the charities for his jailbreak in October. So
That's fun.
we'll be out there promoting those two events for the fall.
Oh, wonderful. So there's so many times and so many ways people can to donate and help.
Yeah.
It's not even like you have to be a part of any of your events. Just go to your pocket or go to your food store, buy food or donate money.
Come out and volunteer.
And volunteer. That's
Yep.
important too.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a special? No, they can go onto your website and get volunteering information.
There's volunteer information at thechildren'shungerproject.org. There's a volunteer tab there. Get involved, and they'll get all the information they need.
Well, that sounds wonderful, Keith. I wish you so much the best of luck for that.
Thank you
know
so
how
much.
I
Thank you
feel
for having us here.
As
We really
as an
appreciate
educator,
it.
I know how important it is, and I've worked on both ends of the spectrum. I've worked for affluent schools, and I've also worked for lower economical schools and social economically. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just such a needed program.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
And please, again, if you need any further information, you can look on my Facebook page, or you can go to thechildren'shungerproject.org or Keith Gee's Facebook page.
Yep, absolutely.
Instagram, Twitter, Eleanor's Elite Radio. And that's about it, I think. So tell me, anything else going on in your life besides Hunger Project? What else?
That is almost all consuming
That's your
right
whole
now.
life.
It is. But it's, Brevard County is such a great place. If you get bored, go to the beach. There's so many events. Every weekend there's something happening here. We talked about the 2,400 nonprofits. They're all doing fundraisers on the weekends.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for somewhere to go, there's a great event coming up at the end of April on April 28th. It's called Fiesta Brevard. It's through the Cocoa Beach Chamber.
Oh.
30 nonprofits all have a booth set up down at Cocoa Village.
Okay.
Right on the water there. It's $10 to get in. Yes, I have tickets for the event.
Yeah.
But it's $10 to get in. You're supporting the local charities here in Brevard County, the Humane Society, the Children's Hunger Project, some veterans organizations, and it is literally there's a margarita margaritas for sale.
Okay.
There's a salsa contest. You get food for that $10, and then each of the nonprofits sets up a booth and they do a little activity. So I know like the Humane Society is famous for their dog bone pull,
Yes.
and you pull the dog bone, and if you get it right, you get a prize.
Keith, have you ever thought about getting a booth or a table at the air show? It's coming up in April at the Melbourne International Airport.
Yeah, actually, I would love to do that because
Contact my son, Anthony.
Okay.
Yes, I don't have his business card with me, but email me and I'll give you his email address.
Okay.
Because he works very closely with the person that arranges all of that. And
great.
he does a lot of that work as well.
Yeah.
So that would be a wonderful thing as well, is to have a little, overhead or a little
Yep.
coffee table, something with the Children's
We
Hunger
are
Project.
always looking to get our name out there, educate people on what the problem is.
It's a little loud, but because
Yeah.
we have the
Sure.
it's the air show. But
Yeah.
you could be further enough away where you can be able to speak and get donations. And
Yeah.
also, I want to tell everyone, tomorrow night there is a event at Uno Chicago Pizza. It's on North Wickham Road in Suntree. And it's firefighters versus bartenders. It's a fundraiser to help support our local firefighters. I will personally be there, and I will be interviewing some of these men. I mean, it's a very hard job to do. but, as a radio, personality, we have to do these things. We have to talk to these big hunky firemen.
Ripped firemen. The sacrifices that you make.
Somebody has to do this
seriously.
job.
That's
so I will be
awesome.
there, and I will be interviewing